It has been 453 days since now 16-year-old Sebastian Rogers vanished from his home in Hendersonville. His disappearance sparked national headlines, but now his father says the case is losing momentum. With National Missing Children's Day coming up on Sunday, he is raising his voice and demanding urgency. News 2's Caitlin.
I went and talked to neighbors, and every single one of them, every single one, welcomed me. And if they had video surveillance, they gave it to me. The only person that would not talk to me, as the only person that had something to hide and wouldn't talk to me. You know, she has a son that's hiding and waiting for somebody in the dark, late night on the 25th. And there needs to be some explaining for that. I'll just leave it at that.
That we are going to keep searching, we are going to keep looking, we are going to find him, and we are going to bring him home.
Since we first aired the video last month, authorities have said no evidentiary value.
It is of no evidentiary value. It is of no evidentiary value.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No.
Why?
Because the investigation remains ongoing.
I'm working on behalf of Sebastian. I am not, my client is Sebastian, and they're the guardians that have the ability to sign.
It just started. Hi Dad, I know this is gonna sound weird, but tomorrow's picture day. So could you send some decent clothes over to me so that I can wear the decent clothes and be handsome for my birthday if we don't have decent clothes? Mom!
Because our heart is missing. He is my world. I need him. I need him back with me.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense.
My truck doesn't need to be in anybody's conversations about where it was, when it was, and how it was.
Chris, did you hear me say?
My truck doesn't need to be in anybody's conversations about where it was, when it was, and how it was.
My truck doesn't need to be in anybody's conversation
about where it was, when it was, and how it was.
My truck doesn't need to be in anybody's conversation
Conversation. My truck doesn't need to be in anybody's conversation.
The body cam that they had made contact with the individual. They did not show me their face, and they did not tell me their name.
My truck doesn't need to be in anybody's conversation
My truck about where it was, when it was, and how it was.
Hey, stop talking about his truck. Come on now. You guys need to knock that off. Leave that poor truck alone. Welcome everybody. I hope you guys having a wonderful Friday. We've got a lot to go over. Oh my goodness.
My truck doesn't need to be in anybody's conversations
conversation. My truck? About where it was, when it was, and how it was. About where it was, when it was, and how it was. That is conversation. My truck?
We get it. We'll stop talking about it. You guys stop talking about it? All right. I thought I'd add a little humor there, a little snarkiness at the beginning there. Couldn't help myself. Welcome, everybody. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch the channel. I thought I'd take the day off, work on some stuff, but holy cow. I got a new AI tool that kind of helped me enhance the video. Now, don't get excited. Doesn't mean it super enhances the video. For those that have seen, I was trying to find the one that At Night did where they did an AI enhancement. And for those that know what I'm talking about, it does kind of enhance it a little bit, but really it's gotten better now with this new tool that I've got. But typically it smooths out the pixels, and sometimes so stuff will blend into each other. And you can definitely tell that with the AI one that At Night did. Again, it's not bad, but you can tell it blends stuff into it. So, but now it's gotten a little bit better where it doesn't blend pixels all together. It just tries to smooth what it can without going, out of control. Anyway, we discovered a lot yesterday because now, since we've really kind of, I focused so much time, feels like years, working on the 3 a.m. video. And in my opinion, we've pretty much figured that out to the best of our knowledge. So now I am moving on to the Texas Roadhouse because I personally am convinced, and I think a lot of people are, that he did not make it home. Again, if you feel like he made it home, it's still certainly possible, but I don't think he made it home. I don't want to speak for Seth, but I think he's kind of reiterated that as well. Again, I'm just paraphrasing. I'm not sure. That's the feeling I get. I think he's kind of mentioned that before. And I think that's for a good reason. So I think, the next step is looking at every single pixel in this Texas Roadhouse footage. And I've got most of the original. And then I AI enhanced some of it, not all of it, because it takes quite a bit of time. And so you'll be seeing that. Long story short, if you were here yesterday, you'd seen that we noticed that the Green Hoodie is walking around with a phone after she makes contact with Katie. But there is so much more that I discovered today that I'm like, I've got to go live because this is insane. There's a lot more in here, and we're just getting started. So buckle up, hit that like button. I promise you it'll be worth it. We will dive into the potential identity. I'll give you some clues, and all that stuff. But the identity stuff will be towards the end of the live, because trust me, there's gonna be so much more in the middle that I found since yesterday that I'm like, oh shit, there's some stuff going on back there that I don't think anybody's ever been able to see because, it's so dark, back there in the corner. But when we get there, we'll talk on it. So anyway, let's get started real quick. Just a recap. I shortened it, so it's like less than 2 minutes. I always like to do this just in case if anybody's coming in that's not familiar with the case. So I'll play that real quick, and then we'll start diving in. And thank you to all the mods. And we've got Coop in here helping because one of our mods is out of town. So thank you, Coop, Sensei, Sassy. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time. And everybody in here. All right, let's get going real quick. Real quick recap here.
Sebastian Rogers was declared missing and endangered, but on the next day, on the 27th, they escalated his case to Amber Alert status. Why?
This is a News 2 breaking news alert.
And we need to start that breaking news right now. An Amber Alert has just been issued for missing Hendersonville teenager Sebastian Rogers.
In this video, I'm going to prove what caused the Amber Alert and why it's still active. I will back this up with literally one of the biggest clues many people have missed, and why certain family members and law enforcement agencies don't want you to know about this giant clue that was there all along. Welcome and get comfortable. You are now watching The Mob Crew. In this video, I'm going to prove what caused the Amber Alert and literally crush and end certain ongoing debates with a clue that is so big they don't want you to know. Chapter 1. From missing and endangered to Amber Alert. Just after Rogers was reported missing on day 1, law enforcement was seen, looking for any surveillance footage around the neighborhood of Rogers. Law enforcement would soon find out that one home did indeed capture something on the early morning hours of the 26th. That home was located here, and what the captured would become infamously known as the 3 a.m. lights. And on the next day, February 27th, sometime during the afternoon, the TBI would post that an Amber Alert was issued in the Rogers case, based on additional investigative information. This was certainly no coincidence.
Alert. And we need to start that breaking news right now. An Amber Alert has just been issued for missing Hendersonville teenager Sebastian Rogers.
Officials tell me Sebastian Rogers is an autistic 15-year-old with glasses, dirty blonde hair, and was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt and sweatpants around midnight Sunday night.
Definitely increases the volatility of the situation. The medicine was there, obviously to treat his autism. So how he responds to that once the medicine is out of his system is really not my expertise, but I do know that it's going to have a negative effect on him.
Here are the criterias needed for an Amber Alert: confirmed abduction, imminent danger, targeted information, and age requirement. That's right, confirmed abduction is one of the main criterias for an Amber Alert, and it's still active. Would be commonly known as the flashlight video, and it sparked heavy speculation, so much so that eventually, law enforcement would claim that it was garbage truck lights, and Sheriff Craddock would give us the best quote of my
Those darn garbage truck lights.
generation.
It is of no evidentiary value.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No.
Okay. All right. So I shortened that out. All right. Show Poodles. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my God. Oh. Show Poodles. Thank you so much. God bless you. Please show Poodles some love in the chat. Means the world. I'm not alone. Again, I've got my community, you guys that support me, which I would not be able to do this without you guys. And then there are people, some know who they are in the chat, that are also help behind the scenes. So again, this is a team effort. I have my, little skills, and everybody else has their unique abilities, and, we're coming together. And as I said in the last stream, I don't want to speak for everybody, but myself, I'm fed up. This is 2 years too long. Like, holy shit, what are we doing? Right? This, I mentioned yesterday, we are about a month away before Faith, Crispy's daughter, with Nina from a previous wife, will get some kind of temporary custody over the summer. And, you had one child go missing under your care, even though Crispy was allegedly not there, but still Katie's going to be around. Because they're glued together, right? And if you can't prove that Sebastian didn't go run off by himself, you're going to allow another child to be under their care? Are you kidding me? Like, I want to flip out right now. This is insane. So, let's get going.
Sebastian and I leave BJ's.
Oops, that's a little loud. Let me turn that down just a little bit.
Your sisters went their own way. I know.
Thank you, Canadian. It's good to see you.
I did not insinuate a name. I didn't say who.
Just clarifying, it was just me and Bubba that left together.
So you and Sebastian leave BJ's.
So
I used my Live 360 to give exact timestamps to the law enforcement.
It was before noon.
gotcha. Okay. Before noon at BJ's.
Yes.
Okay.
Law enforcement has the literal, like, to the second.
We have been told we are not to give out exact times. And
Gotcha.
that came directly from law enforcement. We're not breaking that.
But like I said, they literally used my 360 and like
They got the
knew
timestamps.
that route I took.
Yes.
They knew how fast I went. They knew if I did any stops, which I didn't. They know, like they literally know every detail because we have upgraded 360. So they literally
What up,
and I
hindsight?
have a thing in my car with a camera.
Yeah, the dash cam.
It's not a dash cam. See,
Oh,
that's
okay.
where everybody's wrong.
Okay.
And I'm not going to tell people what it is, but all they need to
Sort of
know
kind of this way.
is in this vehicle, there was something that recorded a video and audio.
But law enforcement had multiple sources to confirm every move.
Sounds like a dash cam to me.
Okay.
Up to and including voice and video.
Okay.
Voice.
We went home after BJ's.
The video is pretty much irrelevant because it doesn't show Sebastian. It just shows the drive. The audio, which we've mentioned before, a good source has told me that there's only about 6 minutes of audio of Sebastian in a 15-minute drive. So, you know.
For a little while.
And unloaded the groceries.
Yeah, we did, so I promise.
Okay.
They can't see anywhere in the videos that they were followed. So if that is something that you're going to speculate on, it has been eliminated.
Yeah, I did talk to them about that.
Like, how do you know? Like, sometimes, you know, there's so much footage, right? Like, how do you just, again, this is what, like a month out, right? Like, how do you know they weren't followed? Again, assuming if they were innocent, like, wouldn't you want to just, like, yeah, we need to have as many eyes on every, you know, camera, you know, and see if there's anybody that's eyeballing them. But no, they dismissed that right away.
And they said
Huge
that the
red flag.
cameras were shit. That they weren't really able to see a whole lot of anything.
Showed Seth a clip of it after his little "I haven't seen proof of life" comment, even though he had.
Yeah.
Which did he tell you about?
And the reason I'm playing this is because you can see how much, and I've mentioned this before, but I just feel like this is a good precursor to show how much they want to reiterate the proof of life that he made at home. Like, that is, again, I mentioned this in the last live. If you listen to that interview with Heather, speaking with them, trying to get the timeline, you're going to hear proof of life. I'm sure if I had time, I would love to look up, like, how many times they mentioned proof of life. Because that comes up a lot, as if they are trying their hardest to say, look, he made it home.
About what?
That his little comment, he hadn't seen proof of life since Friday or
Insinuating
or
that
Thursday or Friday when I last saw or heard from my son.
Yeah, I'd heard about that comment.
Texas Roadhouse. They showed when they walked out of Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
He has seen a video of Sebastian at the fucking house Sunday night taking the fucking trash out.
Right.
audio from inside my car.
Okay. Texas Roadhouse, Green Hoodie. If you're here yesterday, we'll go over a little bit of what I found yesterday, but I found equally, if not more, today. And I think it's even, in my opinion, it's even bigger. But I think it just, with what we found yesterday, I think this just adds even more. But I was just like, holy shit, how did we not see this? I promise you, it'll come, but we need to kind of go in order here. You know, put this timeline of Green Hoodie, the approach. So here we are. Green Hoodie is approaching. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time, you know, with them between the car because, you know, people have broken that down a bunch and done amazing work. I'll show it a little bit, but we're not going to focus too much on that. We're really going to focus on Green Hoodie, you know, before they come and as they come, and then when they leave, because there's a lot going on. So one of the first things we need to take note is there's a good 2-3 minutes. I forgot to time it, but this is before Green Hoodie pops out. Now, this is important because, as a matter of fact, let me just quickly here. Okay, give me 1 second here. Man, I wish they would go back here. It's been God, we're in 2026. I can't believe they have not been back here. Let's see. Yeah, this will work right here. So anyway, so we're looking here, right? Obviously, we're back here. Texas Roadhouse, again, it wasn't there in 2002 or 2022. Excuse me. And obviously the camera would be over here, and so we're looking past the bushes, but we can only use this. But so when Green Hoodie comes along, and I'm going to use she, and if you feel like it's a man, we're all entitled to our opinions. But I'll often probably refer to it as a she. Green Hoodie comes this way and uses this sidewalk. Right? Now, I wanted to look, because this is really important, to see before she showed up if we would have seen her walking this direction, right? And if you saw my video yesterday, and you understand why I point that out. But we don't. We don't see Green Hoodie anywhere. We don't see any individual walking over here, right? So we are looking... My dyslexia is going to trip me up here. Okay, so north is that way, right? That's north. That is north. Okay, so this is east. Okay. So, nobody coming from the north. No activity. And eventually, Green Hoodie is going to pop out from the south. Now, that's important for when Green Hoodie comes back out, because she does not come back, or she does not originally go back to where she allegedly came from, which is interesting. Well, here we are. We got Green Hoodie. Real quick here. Sorry. Sure everything is going on. Oh, good. We got Jennifer. Yeah, sorry, Jennifer. I meant to text you. Yeah, Pocahontas is out, so we had Coop come in temporarily to help out. We weren't sure how many people would be here, so okay. All right. So now we know that she sits behind the car, obviously, and waits for about just under 2 minutes. Obviously, super sus. I have not studied this with the new AI enhancement. This video part here, I don't think is the AI enhanced. Again, and when I say AI enhanced, it's not going to be like, oh my God, it's like 4K, right? Because, the video itself and the camera is an older camera. Not, I don't think it was made for, 1080p. I'm not sure. So we know that Katie leaves. She puts her phone in her right pocket. We can see it because I think something gets switched out. And there's an exchange, which, so many people have gone over. So we're not really going to focus too much on that. But we know, clear exchange, if this was some complete stranger, why is Katie just immediately walking up instead of waiting for this lady who's allegedly just needs to go use the bathroom? Why don't she just clear the lane, wait for them, and then, but no, Katie engages as if they know this person, which, again, and you can tell Sebastian is looking at this person as if like, almost like he recognizes her, or he's kind of dumbfounded. Obviously I can't speak for him, but his facial expressions definitely are interesting. So this is where it gets interesting. We think there was some kind of exchange. Potentially a burner was given to Katie. Now, watch what happens. We're not going to focus on Katie yet. Let's see. Which one do I do? Oh, maybe we do KK first. Okay, yeah. And I actually do have the enhanced version a little bit better. After, and I know we've mentioned this before, but this goes to the, what's the purpose of this interaction? Katie right here is going to lean down and you're going to see her put in earbuds. I've gone over this before. I'm going to show the AI enhanced one again. Don't think it's going to be something super special. But you can see her turning her face. Yeah, I think this is the AI enhanced one. A little bit smoother. Just after she puts on the seatbelt. She looks down, she grabs something, has something in her hand, and then right earbud, and then she goes left, right there, she does the left. It almost, why it blurs right there a little bit is because that's where the dash cam's at. So I think, because of the distance and everything, when it's darker and stuff and there's motion and you don't have like a 1080 4K camera, pixels are going to start kind of just going wacky because they can't comprehend what the information that's, going on. So anyway,
as the literal, which I didn't, they know, they literally know the after it was
Sebastian.
So we have that.
So
has the literal to the
and again, that dash cam is right there. It's since it's black, it kind of just
came directly from law
but there's
we're not breaking that.
you can actually see it really good. I keep forgetting when they pull in. That's actually when you can see it because it's daytime, and you can see the black because it's kind of more on the passenger side, on Sebastian's side where that dash cam's at. Anyway, I just wanted to add that in because I think some people have asked about that.
And,
they got the timestamps.
That route I took,
Okay, so we think now she's getting instructions. So that's the first part. But let's get to the meat and potatoes and a lot of new discoveries in this. And I promise you it'll be worth it. Honestly, the identity is not, to me, is not even the biggest thing. I mean, it's big, and yes, we are not literally, but like I said, we're fed up and I feel like we need to go for the jugular. Not literally, but anyway, I digress. Let me just catch up real quick so I don't get behind here. KK and Crispy's voices are like laxatives. Chris, you're amazing. Thank you for your endless work. Thank you, Joe South Oz. God bless you. It is my honor and pleasure. We've got, I'm just going to go Gurley. I'm sorry, I can't see that first part. It's a little small. Gurley, thank you so much for the membership. We got Sharon Edwards. Thank you so much for over a year of support. Wild Horse, I haven't watched you in a while, but you are like a dog with a bone. You have no quit. Thank you for all your work. That is so awesome. I appreciate that. That means a lot. It means a lot. It really does. Yeah, like 2 years working just on a 3 a.m. video that's, 2 minutes. But it's all that hard work's finally paid off. Again, there's so many other people that helped me, so it's not just me. Sensei, thank you for all the support and what you do modding. Praying we get answers soon. Love, Chris. Thank you so much. Strangler, Snarky Chris. Thank you so much, Strangler. He'll come out the end here. And we got Kelly here. Thank you for being Sebastian's voice. Thank you so much. Again, we are Sebastian's voice. And Kiki says, thank you for your hard work. Thank you so much, guys. All right. Okay. Now let's get to, sure. All right, so we're gonna have some new stuff, a little bit of old stuff, but I promise you, we're gonna drop some bombshells on what this Green Hoodie person does when she gets back there. That I can't believe we missed it. But again, as you can see, it's a little bit cleaned up with the AI. Again, I guess I should have done like a before and after. But as you can see, it looks a lot. Again, you can't. You can only put so much lipstick on a pig, right? I don't know if that's the best analogy, but you know what I'm saying, right? But it does look a lot better. Again, that doesn't mean that we can zoom in on every single pixel and enhance it. Again, there's, because of the camera, there's only so much information that's stored in it that can be kind of manipulated, and AI is getting better. Because if you remember when they did the AI with At Night, and again, I'm not pooping on them or anything, but you'd notice like the numbers and stuff were kind of bigger. They'd kind of blend together because that's what AI does. It smooths out the pixels and before it kind of overlaps stuff, right? Okay, so what does she do when she goes in? Because I don't think we had this yesterday.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And
okay.
I said that in an interview a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is the timing. Okay, this is okay.
Law enforcement does not want that information out there. I am not releasing.
This is Crispy getting asked. Okay, we will go back to what she's doing. What I have here, and I'm just gonna go full screen real quick, guys, so you guys can see it better. I just kind of wanted to show you guys how long she was in there. So let me go full screen. Should be still able to hear me. So as you can see, she opens the door at 6:24, and I put it at 20. Let's see. It's 20. I had it at 25 seconds. Kind of rounded it out, but not a big deal. But basically, there's like a 5-minute difference. That's her going in, and that's her coming out. So there's about a 5-minute difference. And it takes her, and the reason I played this next part is it takes her 52 seconds approximately to walk inside.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And I said that.
Which means we can kind of cancel out about 2 minutes worth of her walking in and out. So that means she spent roughly about 3 minutes in the ladies' bathroom. So take that with what you will, but I just wanted to show
in an interview a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is Crispy getting asked about the Green Hoodie, which this will come back towards the end when we talk about the potential identity.
Law enforcement does not want that information out there. I am not releasing it. It's just know the last time I saw Sebastian was early February. Okay. Until I came home February 26th. That's all I can tell you.
Okay. I understand.
Now, this Green Hoodie guy, do you know anything about that?
Okay, now, this is AI enhanced. Katie... As you can see, it looks a little bit better. This is the AI enhanced one. Again, it's not 4K, but it does make it a little bit better. Now, you're going to notice, and it'll replay a few times, but watch her right hand. She is going to pull out a phone right here.
Explain, or can you explain why this gentleman was next to the car? What that actual, what was happening in that footage? Is that footage correct?
And she's going to look down right after, right here. Boom.
What I can tell you about
that is her pulling out a phone. And as she rounds the corner, you'll see she'll look down at it.
that is law enforcement has talked to Katie. They've answered. She's been able to answer all their.
Okay, now, because after that we can't see her hands, right? I'll come back on the screen here in just a minute, but I want you guys to see this. Notice that bright ball of light. That is no lens flare. That is a phone that is on. So it'll replay a couple times, but check this out. As she's coming out, that phone is on.
Questions, and once again, there is nothing to that situation. I mean, law enforcement even put out a statement. Has nothing to do with it. Has nothing.
Right.
So here's different screenshots from left to right. I guess I should have flipped it the other way, but so as she's coming out, you can see the phone light. It's catching a lot of light. It's in her left hand. She has it out, and then by the time she gets past that pole, she's kind of now got it more towards upwards. And then right here, you can see the phone out as well.
No, that would be.
Now, this is where, yesterday we discovered that she had her phone out, which was, I think, huge. But there's more we have discovered since then. But we'll play this just in case if you missed it. But here's this. You can see that light. That was from the phone. There's more. But there's one right there. And there's 3 more frames right here as she's swinging her hand. We can see the phone light, and on the bottom, the same. And as she swings her arm back again, we see the light of the phone. That's a good catch. Who doesn't? Yeah, it looked like something was in her hoodie after she engages with Katie. That's a good eye. Okay. Now. Guys ready for the new stuff? This is where it's going to get really trippy. And this is... Not sure if this one's AI enhanced yet. Again, when you get zoomed in out there, it's not going to make too much of a difference. Okay, here she comes. Now, I don't think anybody has noticed this before, but there is 2 major things that happen right here. Okay, now, again, I know it's really hard to see her. But she just did something right there. You guys see her silhouette? Let's watch that again. Okay, there's the tree. Now watch what happens. She's going to stop. She is going to turn around. And she is actually going to be walking backwards. You can actually see her head. She's communicating with somebody. Because remember, she's eventually going to go back that way. But check this shit out. This is wild. She is walking backwards, and she almost signals. You can see her head. Oh, did that go a little bit fast? Here's another zoomed in one. Watch the tree. Right there. She turns around. She's communicating with somebody. I don't know if she dropped the phone because she continues walking backwards for a bit. I mean, if you dropped the phone, I think you would continue. But no, I think she's signaling somebody because watch. You can tell her head is facing this way because I'll play a clip when she's walking back and you can see her head. She's turned around. She is not walking. She's walking backwards for a moment. And then at some point she turns around. That is her head facing this way ever since this tree. And remember, she's going to go back that way. So she is in contact with somebody over here. And I'm going to clean this up more. Since I have to prepare for it live, I can only clean it up so much. But did I already do the... Okay. 1 second. I think this probably went a little bit faster. Where's that one where I show? I mean, look at that. Does that look natural? I know it's hard to see, and if you're on your phone, I apologize. That's her body looking this way. And I'm going to throw up on the screen. I have to pause it here. That's her head. I got to find that perfect pause, because you can tell, like, her head's the other way. She does eventually turn back around. I think it's right here. I incorporate the flip. Yeah, she's still turned around. Okay. Below is her now walking the other way. This one is her leaving. And you can see there's right here. Look at her head. You can see a little bit of light catches her hair. And she is facing this way. And if you see in the next frame, I tried to like line it up. Again, when you're preparing for an live, but watch, if you look at this frame down here in just a second, you're going to see the exact same. God, I should have probably just overlaid it. Damn, I didn't even think about that. I'll have to do that next time. Anyway, right there. Look at the head. Look at that. Do you see the head? Notice how the light catches her hair, because there must be some kind of light source, probably a parking stall light, and it is catching a little bit of light from her blonde head, I guess, or whatever. And again, if I were to, unfortunately, if I had those frames exactly lined up, I tried. But yeah, she literally signals, does something, because, you know, she's kind of passing a tree, whatever this is, and, you know, it kind of gets a little blurry, but you can tell she's turning around, and I think she's signaling to somebody. But that's not all. But that's big. That is big. I'll go full screen real quick, see how many people we got in here. We almost got 800 people in here. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I'm glad you can see it. I again, you know, it's rough when it's like, you know, we are hella zoomed in, that, you know. But yeah, I'm like, when once I did the AI enhancements, started just kind of frame by frame in it, I'm like, she does something right here, and then her walk doesn't look natural for a bit. So yeah, pretty wild. Yeah. Oh, are you talking about this? This is, if you're talking about this is nothing. You'll notice it's there the entire time. But Kiki, if that's what you're talking about, yeah, no, that's there. You'll notice if we play the video, it's maybe a piece of metal that's reflecting light, some sort. It's got to be some kind of something that's highly reflective, that gets illuminated. But there is going to be something. Keep your eye over here in just a second. So I'm going to go back full screen, because after she turns back around, again, back to the direction she's going, which is north, there is something else we see. Oh, thank you, Geneva. Thank you guys so much. The Green Hoodie, in my opinion, Caroline, absolutely not. Again, I can't say 1,000%, but I'm gonna give you some hints at the end of the show. But anyway, let me go full screen so you guys can see what happens next. because this is interesting, something new I captured as well. So here we go, full screen. Let me clear the chat real quick. Come up here in just a second. That's zoomed in. Notice how that light is there that I think you're referring to, Kiki. Yeah, who's she communicating with? I mean, look at that. You can tell she's completely turned around communicating with somebody. And then, unfortunately, since once she kind of gets into the shadow area, we can only tell that where she's moving because she's disrupting, the frames and pixels. But there's going to be something. Well, actually, there's two things. We've already mentioned one yesterday, but there's something else I missed yesterday. Let's take a look. Okay, so notice the perpendicular parallel headlights. I mean, if you got two light sources popping on at the exact same time, I mean, that's really, my opinion, leaves you with only one thing. That is a vehicle. We'll get to that in a second, but look just below that and it'll play again. But watch what happens the second that pops up. Oh my God, what the hell is that? Let's look at that again. Let's take a look close. Watch the lights go up. That is her with the phone back out. Because I was watching, I was watching to see if that phone would light up at any point when she was walking. It did not until she got out. So now she feels like she needs to have that phone out. Why? No, I don't think it'd be a flashlight. That's not a bad, I mean, it's not a bad guess, but if it was a flashlight, we would see more light. In my opinion. I think that's just the cell phone light. But what are the odds you got headlights kicking on? And if you don't know what's to the left of that, we'll show that here in just a minute. But I missed this. And that just adds so much more context of what could be transferring. What is she doing? What is her purpose? Because there's nothing over there except a little parking lot. And I'll show you how long she's over there. But yep, she pulls out her phone. Interesting. Right when she's walking into nothing. Well, or a parking lot. So, here's the time. As you can see, I've got the timer below. This is important because remember I wanted to do this yesterday because I'm like, oh shoot, it'd be interesting to see how long is she over there for. So let's see. So at 6:30 and 28 seconds, she exits this frame. Okay. Oh, here we are. At 6:30 and 48 seconds, approximately 20 seconds later, you could fluctuate from 18 to 20 seconds. So she spent a good up to 20 seconds off screen. And if you don't know what's over there, we'll show you here in just a second. But it's very important because it would make sense of why it'd only take 20 seconds. And then she is hoofing it. She is gone like the wind. And here we are. Go back to full screen here. That is the parking lot. Make that there. And as you can see, our camera kind of looks, kind of like this, right? Except obviously from a different angle, but so we can see kind of like the sidewalk, maybe about this. So we can see her probably up to the sidewalk. But so as she's about to come off that sidewalk, we have the headlights perpendicular shining on this wall, which could only mean, unless you have a vehicle that's kind of coming at an angle, but we don't see that. It tells me there is a car in one of these stalls kicking on their headlights, alerting. At the same time, she has her phone out, and she only spends 20 seconds in this area. What do you guys think she's doing? I know some of this was part of yesterday, but again, this is even more because we didn't know that she was signaling, in my opinion, to somebody, because I don't know why in the hell you'd be walking backwards for a good, I don't know, 5+ feet. I don't know, probably more than 5 feet, but, and then you're going to go back in that direction that you had flipped around. But before that, or right after that, you spend 20 seconds over here, just after we saw some kind of headlights up on this wall. And she had just whipped out the phone. I believe that phone, in my opinion, is handed off. And I believe that is the car, potentially, that is going to be giving KK instructions on where to go. So they can do a handoff. Yeah, KB. Yeah, I mean, there could definitely be. Yeah, it could be more than just phone for sure. But there is some kind of handoff, right? In some ways, it does. Yeah, I'd have to look at her behavior a little bit more, especially inside. Unfortunately, we don't have much, but anyway, continuing on. She looking back, make sure. I think they were gone at that point. I don't think they were very far. Because remember, when she comes back out, Katie had left, so Katie leaves at 6:25. She exits at 6:29. So KK had been gone for at least 4 minutes. That's not a lot. But, who knows? She could have been driving a circle. But that's what it kind of looks like. I put this up before, but I find it very interesting that, again, I never noticed this, that she's walking backwards until you slow it down and look. But and then we have the headlights. And she's 20 seconds in this area. And again, the reason why I showed before she came originally, she never came from this location. So that's a major red flag. Why is she going that direction? I mean, is she, lost? Which I doubt it. But what are the odds? We have an odd encounter with Katie. She only goes in to use the restroom. She's clearly passing tons of establishments that have restrooms. And then I could not see her with a phone. Not to say she doesn't have anything, but I don't see anything lit up. But she is cooking when she comes back the other way. She is hoofing it. Yeah, these are, yes, SoCal. Now, question is, and I've been looking at this a lot because I kind of go back and forth. Is this the car she gets into? It would be enough time. And I'm kind of looking into this. You know, it's really weird. I just want to mention. I don't know if it's connected, but let me, I don't know. Should I go back to the full screen real quick? Okay. This is really weird. It's almost like the Matrix, the deja vu thing. Okay. I just want to point this out real quick. Let me turn this down, sorry. Okay, where is she? Where are you at? Where you at, Green Hoodie? Oh, here she comes. Okay. This is what's interesting. Because remember, she's going to turn around right at this tree. Right here. Something happens. She slows down. Now she is literally turned sideways, looking this way. And then about right here, she turns back around. Sorry, not to keep repeating this part. What I wanted to point out is... Okay, is this part here. So after she exits the screen, I just want to show something I think that's interesting. Okay, so she is now moving off screen. And literally, this is so weird. And again, this could just be... Oh, wait. Do I cut it off? No, I don't. Okay, right here. Sorry. This is the one without it slowed down. Okay. And yeah, once you see it, you can't unsee it. So here she is. Now, look what happens. There's one white sedan. Okay. Again, I'm saying this sedan is involved, but just kind of interesting timing. Could be a car that she hands the stuff off to, or the phone to. Because remember, she did turn back. There's another similar car that's actually going a little bit faster, which is interesting. So I do kind of want to look into these, especially this car, because this one comes a little bit faster, almost like it was like that car in front of it, like the identical car. They're waiting for that one. And, and this person is trying to get off screen to hand off a phone. Again, I still think there's probably more likely a car sitting in the stall, but, just looking at alternate possibilities. I don't know if you could hand off a phone because it doesn't look like that car does slow down, I guess. Now looking at it. And it is weird, though. See, like two cars back to back that are similar. But now, when she walks back, let's see. Do I cut it here? Yeah, I do cut it. Okay. Right here. Oh, back up just a little bit. Sorry. Might have. Is she already off screen? No. Okay. So here she is. Now, as far as I can tell, she's still on that sidewalk. She's still on this sidewalk, as far as I can tell. I'd have to, man, it sucks that it cuts off there. It'd be interesting to test her height, see if there's a height difference, as if she walks off. I don't know, actually. Wait a minute. I think I just spotted. Oh no, this isn't slowed down enough. No, she's off the sidewalk now. Wait. Yeah, her feet are blocking the sidewalk. Okay, so she has now came off this. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to zoom in on this. Because if her body's blocking, we can see the sidewalk ledge there. That makes sense. You guys know what I'm saying? We can see the ledge. The curb, not the ledge. Curb be the better. We can see the curb a little bit. Right there. Now, if her body is completely obscuring that curb, that only means she is now off the curb. Now, I got to time it, but it's about 5-6 seconds later. We have this vehicle. And I know this has been pointed out, but because I've kind of gone back and forth because the way she's going, but I think it could be enough time that she could just slip in there and get in that vehicle. So that vehicle could play a part. Yeah, and that's a shame because if Sumner County was competent, in my opinion, they would have grabbed all this footage long ago, but it seems like they didn't. Oh. Oh. Promotion when. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, I'll look at that. That may connect to the yellow jacket person, which I have not dived into. I've kind of tried to keep it very tight, close, with just the few actors that we have. I know people think that there's more actors that are involved in the at Texas Roadhouse, and it's certainly possible. And I am going to look into it. I'm just kind of focusing on one person at a time until I dissect every single pixel and every single movement that I can from that specific individual. But yeah, we can do that. If we get enough time at the end of the show, I'll pull up my my thing and I'll do an overlay where we'll show the group at the bottom in one screen and then at the same time, and we'll see if that correlates. Interesting. Oh, Pammy Bear, thank you so much for that amazing super chat. God bless you, Pammy Bear. Means the world. If you weren't here yesterday, and I kind of explained it earlier in the show, we're kind of fed up, especially me. I don't want to speak for everybody else, but kind of fed up. Was waiting for certain things to potentially happen. And I've told you guys that, been working on documents, a timeline with actual video evidence to back it up and statements. And that has been pretty much in the works. Literally, there's people in chat that know. It is pretty much, there's a rough draft. It's pretty much kind of like, it's still rough draft. But when of course, when we thought we kind of had a good picture, then we figured out the 3 a.m. video. So I have to kind of reiterate and retailor all that. Because really, in the beginning, it was kind of more tailored to that he potentially made it home. But now I am 99% sure he did not make it home. Okay. We will try to take a look at that, KB. That's interesting. Okay, now I know you guys, especially with the thumbnail, we talked about who could the hoodie person be. We've already kind of talked about that, but I'm going to give you a little bit of clues that we've had for a while. Just wondering if there's anything else here. I think that is it. Oh, I think I was just kind of showing what it looked like if they were walking this way. If anybody ever goes that way and wants to get video from this, from here, because Google Man didn't even drive this little road. If we could get like a video from like just here looking this way, that would be really cool. Just to kind of overlay and get a better idea of some stuff. But now let's get into the clues of the identity. Actually, let me pause it. Let me read a little bit of chat first, and then we'll get to that. Because there are clues, in my opinion. That's possible, Rob Beanie. And as a matter of fact, you're not the only one that has that theory. Now, the only thing that I would say that would put a wrench in that is if she still had her Apple Watch on her. Right? Because isn't that all connected? The Apple Watch and the phone. But I don't know. Maybe, again, because I'm not an Apple guy, I could do some research on it. I mean, I've done some basic research on it, but that's not a bad theory. Not a bad theory at all. That is interesting. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, because I heard Mr. and Me, me, myself, and I, Mr. and Mrs. E Crimecast. I think they went there. I tried to find one of their videos, but I didn't see anything where they had like a good shot. They may have. I just couldn't find the video. Oh, from Roadhouse, the camera. Well, unfortunately, since Google Man hasn't been there, the establishment is here, and it would be, some kind of outside camera up on the building, right? Because you can see it's hooked up, in a corner. But yeah. So yeah, with the Life 360, again, I'm not an Apple person, so that's a little out of my expertise. But yeah, I'd wondered if they'd have to take the Apple Watch too. Can't we see her with the Apple Watch still on in the car? Here's the Apple Watch. A lot of this video doesn't really have her in the car. That would be something to look for. Let's see. She's got it on. What hand has she got it on? In chat. This is 1604. Oh. Being an idiot. Left hand. Okay, so it's on the left hand. 1603. And that's tough. If it was on the right hand, we'd. That's her hand up. Man, it looks. I can't say 100%. But yeah, I don't know. Like, could she just switch that off? Because she loves to mention that Life 360. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you guys. Okay, sounds like some people sent me that. I think this is the AI enhanced one. That's her right hand getting the earbud in, of course. And then, of course, that's her left hand because and then it kind of blurs out there. Yeah, I have to look at that. That's interesting, though. I'll write that down. Because there could be some frames when she's pulling out that I've never really focused on except for when I was looking for the dash cam. So anyway, yeah, we'll have to look at that. That's interesting though, Robini. And so anyway, okay, so let's start getting into some hints on who could be Green Hoodie. And let's say this is going to be part 2 because there's multiple ways to kind of give us an idea of who this person could be. And I'm going to go over part of it today, and then we'll probably do another one maybe tomorrow. We'll have to see. Okay, she did have it on. Okay. Now I would trust hindsight because I know hindsight's looked at that. So I don't know, how that would work. Again, I don't know if she could switch it off, pull a Brian Koberger and turn it silent. I don't know, but they love to use the whole Life 360, which is interesting. So, all right, let's get to the final part here, and let's go over some stuff. Wow, we almost have 900 people in here. That's awesome. So, and this is a great time because I'm going to give you some really good, interesting hints on who Green Hoodie, and I'm going to try to do some more AI. I think, I know some people think it could be a man. I'm trying to get some good angles of the throat because, obviously us gentlemen have our Adam's apple. So I want to see if I can kind of maybe debunk that. Again, I can't say 1,000% I know who Green Hoodie is, but I'm going to give you some pretty good clues right here. Okay, I'm going to go full screen. You'll still be able to hear me. But let's just go over what are the things we just saw here that just blow me away. That how could law enforcement ignore all of this stuff? It's insane. You're telling me all this stuff happened and this person had nothing to do with his disappearance. Okay, let's go full screen. Yeah, she loves to say that. That's what I find, again, it's upgraded. There's proof of life, proof of life, proof of life, proof of life. But yet we can't tell if it's Sebastian, taking out the trash, right? And I don't think Seth would make something up if he can't tell that's his son. Then, Anyway, all right. So let's just quickly recap what happened here before we get to the potential identity and some clues. So Green Hoodie exchanges with KP. Then Green Hoodie pulls out a phone as she's entering Texas Roadhouse. Probably, in my opinion, just theorizing. Now she's from entering the door and leaving. It's about 5 minutes difference. Now let me pause this. Hey, I'm talking here. Let me back up a little bit. From when she enters and exits is a little over 5 minutes. It takes her almost a minute from doorway to bathroom. So if we just kind of round it off to 2 minutes walking in and out, that leaves her about 3 minutes to do whatever she's doing in the ladies' restroom. I've heard that. That's interesting. Then KK, before she leaves, clearly puts in headphones. It is blatantly obvious. I think it's attached to a burner phone. And she's going to be getting instructions on where a second vehicle is going to meet up somewhere halfway before they get home. Then, as something we learned today, is as they are, as Green Hoodie is going out, she turns around as if she's signaling to somebody, which is the direction she's going to go back to, which I find very interesting. So much so that she's actually walking backwards for a few seconds. And in my next live, I'll actually overlay it with her when she's actually walking that direction versus when, like I always said I was going to do. That'll be interesting to see. Green Hoodie drops off or meets with somebody over to the north for 20 seconds. Which again, why? If none of this has to do with Sebastian, this is just one of the biggest multiple red flag coincidences that have absolutely nothing to do with the last sighting of Sebastian Rogers. Come on now. I mean, look at this list. I could add more. This is just like the highlights, right? Then she goes one direction, north, which is not the direction she originally came from. And then as she's leaving, she is hoofing it as if she needs to go use the restroom again. I guess now the ladies' restroom at Texas Roadhouse is too far away and she's going to go use another establishment. I don't know, but she clearly seems to be in a hurry after she just did some kind of meeting over here. So what's going on there? Okay, now let's get to the clues on who Green Hoodie could be. And I haven't looked at the poll yet for a bit. 83%. We got over 500 votes. Most people think it's related to the Stinkfeet. I agree. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it was the next day, Cowgal. I don't know. I think that was after they learned that she went back after At Night's team went and collected it in December or November, December, sometime in around in there. Because, yeah, so late November, December, somewhere around in there. And from what I understand, I think Silvers even had a part in that because he spoke with the a couple employees that they felt because they knew about the case and they're like they were kind of weirded out because they thought it was strange that nobody had come to collect their footage. And thank God that these people did that because I don't know what the hell Sumner County was thinking. It's his last known location, and as far as I know, they didn't collect this footage. And this is gonna speak volumes when we learn here in just a minute. Sorry, I've got so many messages going on.
Green Hoodie guy. Do you know anything about that?
Oh, we got Nick the Hat. Welcome, Nick. Maybe Nick could elaborate when they got it. Again, we got so many people in here. I can't. It's hard to find a specific individual. So maybe he could add context if he's comfortable sharing that. Unleash Snarky Kraken. Thank you, Sassy. So this is my assumption. And Cowgal, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Sorry, I'm just kind of trying to play catch up. I appreciate that, Nick. Again, I appreciate what you guys done. I mean, getting this footage is huge, in my opinion. I love it. And I want to believe in At Night. I really do. I just feel like I'm just being brutally honest. Like, I feel like, you know, it hasn't been the best. And again, and I'm not, clearly other people feel the same, but I do appreciate, I mean, I think this could be one of the big leads. And thank God your team got it. So I do want to reiterate that. But I have no love for Sumner County Sheriff's Office. I'm sorry. I don't. And that doesn't go to everybody that works there, clearly. It just goes to a few certain individuals. All right. So this would be my understanding, because even I'm going to play the audio. So it's released on December 7th, right? I think you guys kind of teased it a few days before. And then the first video went up on December 7th. And please correct me if I'm wrong in chat. Just let me know, because again, when you have so many people in here, it's hard to find one individual. So I do apologize. So let's listen to Crispy.
Can Katie explain, or can you explain why this gentleman was next to the car? What that actual, like, what was happening in that footage? Is that footage correct?
What I can tell you about that is law enforcement has talked to Katie. They've been able to answer all their questions. And once again, there is nothing to that.
Okay. Thank you, Crispy. As always, you know, he's always in there speaking a little bit of truth, mostly bullshit, but there's always a little bit of, you know, truth behind what he says, right? So again, why I have it in yellow is for two reasons. One, I'm just kind of assuming the date that they would have interviewed her, right? would have to have been directly after this came out and everybody was blowing up Sumner County's tip line with the Green Hoodie, right? So I would assume, unless somebody in chat knows something that I don't, I would think that they would have probably interviewed her sometime between December 8th and 10th, directly after that was released. And even Crispy correlates that. Then this happens.
Situation. I mean, law enforcement even put out a statement. Has nothing to do with it. Has nothing.
Right.
Sumner County then claims that they interviewed Green Hoodie on December 13th, which gives us a 6-day window. And really, I would put it down to maybe a 5-day window, right? Because if it's released on the 7th, people start looking at it. Maybe tips start coming in mid-7th. I can't remember what time it was released. So I would think they would start working on it on the 8th, right? Just kind of spitballing here. So if we say the 8th, then that puts us at a 5-day window. And they found this person who we know that this person does not get in a vehicle. This Green Hoodie person is not a patron. The workers had no idea who this person was. Never seen them before or after, as far as we know. So no vehicle, no, that we can see on camera. And again, now we're in December. We're what? February. We'll start with March. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Geez, 8 months out. Do you think any of these other establishments around here would have kept their footage? I mean, it's always possible. I mean, do they even have cameras back here? Right? I'm sure there's probably a camera or two somewhere, but you're betting on, would these establishments know to keep that footage? I mean, Texas Roadhouse was only as because there was a few that knew about the case and they were concerned because nobody allegedly came to get the footage. So, even if this individual went into a car somewhere, how would they get the license plate, right? If they didn't have any footage to get it from. Because I'm sure all these other establishments, if they did have footage, have been recorded over. Now, they could do a geofence. And again, I'm not an expert, so this next part is really just a little bit of chat GPT. You could get phone records within a couple of days. Depends on the phone service. I understand Apple's pretty strict. I don't know if they've opened up. Now, people can have Apple devices and have another, obviously, T-Mobile, whatever. But, and yeah, so we're talking days to get some kind of court order. It's certainly possible they could have gotten something. Geofencing in itself is going to take at least days to establish, from what I understand. So if you get what I'm trying to say here is, if they're trying to get her cell phone, if they don't have a number, they would have to geofence it, and that's going to take a bit to pull off. I don't think they could do that in 5-6 days. And let me know. And if I get something wrong, somebody knows something more that I don't, and if I misquoted something, please correct me. Again, this is just a little bit of chat GPT, a little, but I was asking ChatGPT, I'm like, how would they know if there's no footage of a vehicle? They don't have a license plate to go off of. We can't even recognize the person. Yeah, there's a long shot. Somebody called in and tipped, said, yeah, I know exactly who that person is. That's possible. I don't think so, but, we'll throw it in there just to be looking at all angles, right? Or was it this? One second.
Who the green hoodie person is.
Oh, let me play Seth real quick, and then we'll answer why I think.
Did LE tell us who the green hoodie person is? You don't have to say if you can't. They did not tell us who the green hoodie person was, but we are 100% confident that they made contact with this person and that person is not affiliated with this situation, as per their statement.
Oh.
They went as far as showing me the body cam that they had made contact with the individual.
So there's body cam footage. But they don't show the individual's face. Now, I don't know if it's in this quote. I think there's 2 times he talks about this.
They did not show me their face.
Oh, it is.
And they did not tell me their name.
So, once again, Sumner County, what the fuck? We found the individual. We're going to bring you in and we're going to show you the body cam footage, but we're just going to blur the entire fucking thing out. And we're going to pull a fish sticks where we go, hey, look at this backyard at 3:00 in the morning. There's nothing going on, except I'm going to blur half the background. And then come to find out, when it was unblurred, there was a bunch of shit going on. Why in the fuck would they do this? Pardon my French, but why? How does that make sense? But he heard the voice.
Because they don't want the individual harassed. But they did make contact.
Makes no sense.
And it is definitely nobody I know.
So all he has to go off is a voice. Again, I wouldn't put past Sumner County. Again, and this doesn't go to all of them, but you know, I have beef with some of them because again, I have sent a lot of stuff in, and yeah. Anyway, I wouldn't put it past them when they played some other body cam footage, but let's say they didn't. Let's say this is the individual. Hypothetically, what if it is KK's mother? Now, she lived in Virginia since 2007, I think, doing my research. Got registered as a S offender in 2005. She is now on that list where every 2 years she has to update her photo. Again, I guess we'd have to ask Seth, how much has Seth actually heard her voice? Is what I'm trying to say. That makes sense, right? Yeah, I'm going to look into that, Nick. Thank God I got some good programs, and they updated the AI enhancement tool and stuff. I'm going to look at Yellow Raincoat. I know a lot of people bring that one up. I have to focus on one individual until I break every single thing they do, you know, until I'm done with that, then I'll move on. I will get to them. But yeah, that's interesting. But continuing on, again, no love lost for me for this piece of trash. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I feel like I'm sure there's some good people in Sumner County and probably want to do the right thing, but I think there's some bad apples in there. And I really think the other thing is I think they knew they screwed up. They fed a bunch of people, not locals, but even the people that, like witnesses, told them the stupid garbage truck light thing, told Seth that. We know that's all bullshit. We've completely debunked it, absolutely destroyed it to the 10th, degree. Ended that debate. And we know there's a vehicle, and it may not be that, because now if he never made it home, I could kind of see where they were hesitant to release that vehicle, because if he didn't make it home, then yeah, what is Katie grabbing out of that vehicle, which is probably Sebastian's clothes? But still, why wouldn't they release that? Even if it wasn't like had Sebastian in that vehicle, why wouldn't they release that? Just like in Nancy Guthrie case, like the public is your best friend. We've seen that. And I think they are going to get slammed when this case breaks open. And I'm sorry, karma's a bitch. Thanks to At Night with this. And again, this is such amazing stuff to have this released. And again, also speaking with Silvers and getting that background of it, a little bit more to the story about, these amazing people at Texas Roadhouse who, did a great thing by preserving this footage, which in my opinion is going to be huge one day. So back to Green Hoodie and the identity. And yes, we will we will. Okay, my phone is going off like crazy. Give me a second here. Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. I am getting emailed and texted by a bunch of people. Everybody's trying to give me tips, so I apologize. Okay. So before we reveal, and then I'm going to show you guys, and again, this will be a 2-part, or well, 3-part series, because I guess this is part 2, because I'm going to go over the hoodie, because I've been working on that separately, like what's on the hoodie, and this will also lead into, who is Green Hoodie? Okay, so we've gone over heights. We kind of went over that yesterday, so I'm not going to touch on that too much, but I told you guys, if anybody enters the same space in a camera that is static, so I'm going to go full screen here real quick. This will go real fast. And then I'll stop to read some chat for a minute. As you can see, there's Sebastian. Sebastian's 5'5" at the time. KK is 5'7". But Sebastian and Green Hoodie entered the same space. Not the same exact time, obviously. But since it's a static camera, I can overlay them, right? And we can see that Green Hoodie is slightly taller than Sebastian. So we can say that Green Hoodie is somewhere between 5'6" to 5'8", right? Okay, so now we know pretty much the approximate height of Green Hoodie, which in my opinion is big. Okay, KK's mother, we've gone over this. I think she's the best candidate. Her last photo, now she's going to have another photo coming up next month. Actually, almost a month from a few days. I think it's May 20th. Yeah, May 20th. Oh no, that's too. Oh, I'm sorry, but yeah, sometime in May. Before that, she had long hair. Right after Sebastian went missing, she had short blonde hair. She had the butch haircut. I keep forgetting to bring this up or show this. In her files, and anybody can look this up, Frances Rosenbaum, her height is set at 5'7". Pretty much the same height as Katie. Oh, May 24th. Okay, thank you. So we're a month and a week out. I think she's got the body type for it. And then, of course, this is years before, but this is her most recent one. Or no, I'm sorry. No, that was the one before. Excuse me. That was 2022.
Happy birthday to you.
That's her singing happy birthday to a child. Disturbing. Last big thing right here. See if you guys agree with me.
This Green Hoodie guy, do you know anything about that? Can Kate?
So after everything I said, I think we all struggled to think, like, how in the hell did Sumner County find this Green Hoodie person in such a short amount of time? Unless a certain interview with somebody led them to that individual. Let's take a listen.
Katie, explain, or can you explain why this gentleman was next to the car? What that actual, like, what was happening in that footage? Is that footage correct?
What I can tell you about that is law enforcement has talked to Katie. They've answered. She's been able to answer all their questions.
Okay, I'm sorry but I'm just saying butch as, yeah, I'm not trying to be offensive or anything. I mean, there's nothing wrong with short hair. Short hair. She has short hair. But no, it's short. It's cut. Cool Cougar. It's cut. Anyways, but I hope I didn't offend anybody with the butch thing. Again, I'm just saying. People have referenced Green Hoodie as with a butch haircut. That's why I said butch. The hair is cut. Okay. Sorry, now I got sidetracked, but I do want to clear that up because I don't want to offend anybody and get, but yeah.
Can Katie explain, or can you explain why this
Now
gentleman
remember,
was next to
the
the
video
car?
you're seeing of her is years before, right? I don't know when's the last time we've actually had a video of her that is closer to around his disappearance, right? Now again, but just listen to this, and if you disagree, that's fine. Again, we're just here to kind of, but this is what I'm trying to point out. Sorry, let's get past the birthday part.
In that footage, is that footage correct?
What I can tell you about that is law enforcement has talked to Katie. They've answered. She's been able to answer all their questions. And once again, there is nothing to that situation. I mean, law enforcement even put out a statement. There's nothing to.
So do you think the interview with Miss KK Stinkfeet, do you think it's a coincidence that happened and then they found the individual shortly after? When before that, in my opinion, they had really, unless, again, I don't know everything, we don't see a vehicle. Yes, there's geofencing, but that takes a lot longer. If they had a phone number, they could get phone records within a day or two. It just depends on the judge. Facial recognition, maybe, but I doubt it with this footage. Again, this footage is not the best, and I've got the, even the AI enhanced, and I still can't, I can see the face, but, unless did they run that face through, a Fender list? I think, in my opinion, and it doesn't mean I'm saying this 1,000%, I think this interview led to Green Hoodie. Let me know what you think in chat. If you disagree, I mean, that's what we're all here for. Speak our opinions, but I think it'd just be ludicrous unless a license plate and a phone number, they'd be able to find this individual in 5 to 6 days. There's also a little bit more, but yeah. And the hoodie. And that's going to be a part 3 because we're working on that, because the hoodie also corroborates who my main person of interest on Green Hoodie is. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is what's crazy. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I didn't offend anybody. But yeah, the hair was cut short. Let me catch up on chat for a second, and then we'll see here. Kitty, thank you so much for the membership. And if you came in late, I'll show just one of the things that was discovered today. And again, the hoodie, in my opinion, if I can figure it out, and I've got it because thanks to AI and AI enhancement, we're getting the lettering down. And that really, so far, looks like KK's mother, in my opinion. It's got a lot of connections to her, at least the direction that it's gone so far. I'll play this while I reach out. Doing this thing, but I can't unleash the Kraken family album of mugshots. Nice. Yeah. Love to see it. It's well overdue. Remember, Jennifer, thank you so much for 47 months. Been with me since practically day one. God bless you. And I hope you're doing well. And I hope you have a wonderful spring. She says, stay safe, everyone. God bless. And be kind always. Yeah. And again, I cannot reiterate enough how much we have such an amazing community. And a large part of that, of course, goes to our mods who do such an amazing job. But yeah, I don't want to go too much because I don't want to spoil anything that's going to, somebody rewatches this. But one of the interesting things, again, this is one of the multiple things, but when, for anybody that came in late, I'm just going to recap one thing. You missed it. When Green Hoodie is walking, when she leaves, she turns around and literally walks backwards for a good 5 feet or so. And you can literally see her head because the light kind of catches the front of it. And then I showed when she's walking the other way. So she is clearly communicating with somebody, which is obviously the direction she's going to go back to. But just before that, or just after that, car lights kick on as if there's somebody sitting in a side parking lot. She lights up her phone as if to hand it off, which I think is to a vehicle that's going to probably go and switch out with Sebastian. Something to that effect. Oh, I don't know. Honestly, there's other people in chat that do a little bit more digging into the family affairs side of things. And so my strengths are looking at video stuff clearly. So that's kind of where I stay in my lane with that. And then we all kind of put our heads together with all our strengths. Oh, Kitty. Oh, I'm sorry. I know you've been with me a long time. Just if there's anything I could maybe address. I agree. Crispy clearly played a role. I don't know. I know a lot of people want to think he made it out there, and it's certainly possible he could have. He certainly had the window, so I wouldn't be surprised. But no matter what, he's involved after the fact and probably premeditation. Allegedly, of course. All alleged, right? But the last thing I'm going to say, because what time do we start? Oh, okay, we're about to hit the 2-hour mark. That's perfect. I mentioned yesterday, we've been putting a report together for the FBI for a long time, and for all the agencies, really. But we have one or two contacts with the FBI. And this report's literally been in the works for over a year. And again, like I said, people in chat, there's people in here that know and have seen it. I'm going to start to slowly release probably the rough draft on it on my Patreon. Maybe within a week or so, just little tidbits. But the goal is within by a month or so, our goal is to have a 3-prong attack. We are going to release the Texas Roadhouse with everything that I've done with other people's work, all the stuff we have there. We're going to have the 3M video, which we pretty much cracked for the most part with insider information that pretty much seals, kind of what happened there. And it's going to be posted, on the channel, but of course we're going to put it on Twitter, and we don't want to release it all at once. We want to hopefully release something that's big and shocking, so that gets some hype, and then release the other 2 parts, and that gets the attention, and all that stuff, of course, is going to go to the FBI and the other agencies, and hopefully, this is our big shot, right? Not going to say it's going to solve it, but this is, we're kind of fed up. It's 2 years too late, and 2 years too late, 2 years too long. And so this is it. So I have a lot of stuff I have to do behind the scenes, but I still have to maintain doing lives and keeping up. So I do appreciate everybody helping out. And I'm sorry, a lot of people emailed me and messaged me. You guys are awesome. I'll look at the footage you guys sent me. And yeah, it'll be cool if I can overlay something. And then the next live will likely be the hoodie. And I think that will kind of hopefully connect to who we think, at least in my opinion, is at the top of the list is person of interest. And let's just say, in theory, if that is Katie's mother, in theory, hypothetically, putting that out on the internet, and if we have enough that convinces enough people to look into it, I think it would be quite shocking to people to be like, this is KK's mother, who is a registered SO. Is supposedly supposed to be living in Virginia, but is now in Tennessee the night he goes missing. And there's a bunch of funky stuff that she does before and after. And nobody has just blown this out. This isn't on News Nation, all the major, big news outlets. What is KK's mother? Again, hypothetically, I think there's no way people could turn a blind eye to this. The hope is FBI finally gets on certain agencies to, because there's got to be at least more than 3 actors involved, right? Which is really strange for a case in this day and age, right? There's very rare, there's not serial killers. I'm not saying that Sebastian was killed, anything. I'm just using an analogy here. But, you never see serial killers where they're working in teams, except for that one group back in the day. I forget the name for them. But yeah, in this day and age, I think they could squeeze some of the lower end people that knew some information, and then eventually it's dog eat dog. I know I said man eat man yesterday. It should be dog eat dog. And then it's who's going to make the best deal, People are going to turn on themselves and it should happen. So I'm going to end the poll. I think it's pretty. I mean, we almost have. Oh, I thought it was 800. Over 600 votes think it's family related to the Stinkfeet, which I highly agree. Yeah, KK's upbringing was, it doesn't excuse what she may or may not have done with Sebastian, but still. Yeah, she is. She is tier 3. That's right. Right. I think she wanted to give it to Seth. And poor Seth, man, I feel so bad for that guy. I can't imagine his mental well-being. 2 years of just nonsense. When I think they should have had this slam dunked after less than a month. Yeah, I've always said I hate the corruption. I feel like not everybody, but a lot of people like to lean into corruption. In this case, I don't know if like corruption would be the right word, but I think maybe turn a blind eye to certain things. At the very least, I don't think directly involved. No, but I think they made a lot of mistakes and they knew it. Thank you, Sandy. Yeah, if anybody has it, I'll look at what it. I think I had like 5 people send me a video, so I'll look at it. We'll see if I go live tomorrow because I know I'll probably I'm going to look at Yellow Coat as well. But I just want to finish up with Green Hoodie first, and then move on to other stuff that's going around at Texas Roadhouse, and then move on from there. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. You say military hairstyle cut. Yeah, because what could be on her hoodie, which I think, because again, this isn't just some Under Armour hoodie, right? Last thing I'll say, let's say it's like a Virginia of Commonwealth hoodie. Who's from Virginia? What if it's a Navy, and Navy has so many different kinds of different brands of hoodies? Oh my gosh, it's insane. I've spent hours just looking at hoodies in the shops trying to match it. But one interesting thing I'll leave you with is this hoodie has the characteristics of how Navy usually has their wording, which is in gold, block leather, and whatever's on the top is some kind of 4-letter word. Navy, USNA, United States Naval Academy, United States Naval Academy. So yeah. All right, guys, I will end it there, right on the 8 p.m. mark. Thank you so much to everybody in here taking the time out on their Friday evening, afternoon, wherever you're at, to watch the show. And I did try to get to as many comments as I could. Coop, thank you so much for helping us out while we have one of our mods on vacation. And of course, that goes to all my mods, of course. And then thank you to my members and Patreons. I'll have some stuff up here soon. I've just been working on this final report And again, it's nice to see a lot of people in here coming together because we need to put aside our differences for Sebastian and let's pool our resources, our theories, whatever, and because again, we're a month away from Crispy and KK having supervision of another child. It makes me sick to my stomach. Thank you, Miriam. All right, guys, we're going to do a pet outro. If you are a member, especially a newer member, if you would like to set in a pet photo, please do so. If you can put pet in the subject line, that would really help. And I've got a couple. I need a little bit more. This is just for the members. It's a perk for the members. But we'll work on a new one hopefully here soon. With that, we'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. If not, maybe Sunday. We'll have to see. God bless you guys. Have a good weekend.
Gone somewhere and dyed my hair now. Wanna be alone. It's much to bear and you don't care and I won't play alone. I got you in my sight. I keep all of what you said to me. I get you on your knees. Rewrite all the things you said that I should be. I'll get you, now you'll beg me please.
And again, thank you to everybody that donated. God bless you guys.
Now I stay away, you were never meant to save me. Now I stay away, I'll hear you say you're sorry. Hate I even loved you, hate I fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you, hate I kinda fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you, hate I fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you, hate I kinda fell in love with you. With you, I cried with you now.
Oh, thank you, Rachel. Good night, guys. God bless.